Right, it's time to take another test ride on this Norton Commando at last. The Wassel replica Amal concentric carburetors are now both wearing genuine Amal float bowls, and from what I've been able to tell running the machine on the yard, they seem to have made a difference. The left side was the first one to get one. That improved that. The left side being the worst cylinder for stopping and spoiling a tick over. But then I found that the right one also wasn't quite as good as I like, so now we've got two genuine Amal float bowls on them, and apart from anything else, they respond to the tickler much faster than they did before. Anyway, let's take a ride and see how we get on. We've still got that bloody kickstart. Bear with me. I thought if I could get the thing running properly, I'd deal with things like the kickstart. Right, I have to get over this side. It's unlucky to get on from the right, or at least I believe it is. Right then. So I'm hoping that I've also managed to get that clonky noise from the rear wheel under control. Oh, and we've lost our rev counter. That stopped working while I was running the engine on the yard. Okay, we're all right. Seeing a van coming towards us over the hedge top. Aha! It's alright, I know him, I don't think he wants to kill me. I don't want to play silly buggers, but I don't think we want to be looking at the back end of that all the way either, do we, really? Take over. No. I'll work on that when I get back then. We had a tick over when I was on the yard. I want to see more than anything if the rear wheel is behaving itself. I don't want to hear that clunking noise come back. Sheep on the road up here. there might be a very, very slight warp in the front disc. Brake lever pulsates just a little. Doesn't make the braking jerky or juddery, but feel it in the lever. Tick over yet? No. Something has changed carburation wise since I left the yard. It was ticking over nicely and I could stop it and restart it without any throttle and it goes straight into a tick over. Now we don't seem to have anything. Other than that, it's running nicely enough. Also, when I took the rear wheel off to investigate the clunking from the brake drum, I saw that the brake drum was in very good shape and the brake shoes were virtually new. So I think the back brake will probably improve with use and adjustment. Cyclist ahead. Two of them. Let's not forget the sheep. Oh, they're all the way down here. Thought maybe someone had had them for a minute. Thought maybe they'd been pinched for somebody's dinner. They've been getting out onto the road for at least 50 years that I know of. Barely a day goes by in that bit of road where you won't see sheep on it. All those trees down, all victims of storms. There are half some ugly cars about these days. Mind you, there's ugly motorbikes too, I guess. Gonna get upon him a bit too late. Yeah. Next straight stretch, perhaps. Unless he also decides to show us how fast his Volvo can go, of course. So we've got the rev counter cable, the tick over, the kickstart, and possibly a front disc to deal with. But it's running and riding okay, generally. Tick over now. Nope. that is why, ladies and gentlemen, I blip the throttles at junctions and things, because you can have something ticking over beautifully, but can you really guarantee that it's not ever going to stop and let you down right when you might need the engine running to move forwards, perhaps? Could have had the dog come out then in a sort of pincer movement with the forklift, couldn't we? Right, well, we obviously haven't got a tick over anymore, so I'm going to try and find out what happened to that. But otherwise, it did actually run and ride very well. And the lights also stayed on, but it's going to stop now when I let go of the throttle. I know it will. Ha! Make a liar out of me every time, this thing would, wouldn't it? Well, in that case, I'll switch it off, switch it back on again, and see if it'll go into a tick over. Oof, kick back, and the kickstart is fouling the exhaust again. Actually, I'm not going to knock shit out the silencer just for the sake of it. I'm going to have to put these few things right, and it might even involve buying another kickstart pedal by the sound of some of the comments and reactions I've had. Apparently there's a lot of shonky crap stuff around these days, and it looks like that kickstart pedal might be just such an item, because I actually manipulated it. I clamped it in a vice and gave it a good wallop with a big heavy mallet and got it to clear the exhaust, but it's now back clouting it again. Cheap foreign crap, that's probably what it is. Anyway, I'll get something decent on it and we'll go from there.